welcome to your extended weekly spiritual guidance for this week of January 9th through the 15th of 2023. My name is Christie Ramirez and I'm your soul coach, motivational speaker, and spiritual influencer. So what a beautiful day to sit down for a nice cup of coffee and have a conversation, right? I actually put on some new coffee music, and this coffee music is inspired by a winter porch, which I think was so cute, so wonderland. And that's definitely something that, you know, is one of my dreams, to be in this winter wonderland. How can we create that in our lives? How can we make also our visions come to life? I feel like it's a message this week, and we do this through art, creativity, through creating things, right? So I feel like that's a wonderful message of inspiration that did come up in the weekly spiritual guidance, or on Monday's message, I think, that if you've lost any inspiration, for any of you out there, how can you find that inspiration? What can inspire you again to your passions, to what you're really in love with in your heart? And how can we just inspire ourselves as well? And then get up every morning and do what we love, because that will always get you out of bed, right away. You know, let me tell you that I love what I do here. And this morning, I literally woke up and started getting ready right away. As much as I was still hungry, you know, and like I usually have more parts to my morning routine, but today was a kind of like a full photo shoot day for me, and I had something else to do in my kitchen, so I had to kind of get an earlier photo shoot in. So, but I love it, so I do it, right, with a smile on my face. I don't complain about it. I don't, you know, not do it or show up, because I love it. So if there's any area in your life that might feel out of alignment, or that you're not liking what you're doing, or maybe it's like a hassle to show up, then maybe it's not an alignment. Maybe this is trying to tell you something. It's like a message from the universe. So how can you listen more, I feel, today, this week? Alright, so another part of this week I'm feeling, you know, because we're still in the second week of January, and coming off like what I am teaching in my resurrection lectures as well. I did do day 1 this weekend on Saturday. Day 2 and day 3 will be done sometime this week, or like throughout the month. And what the themes of these 2023 resurrection lectures are about is angels in battle. And I feel like there's these spiritual battles that our angels are really fighting for us, but they're very humble messengers of light, is what we learned in day 1, right? And they're not going to take credit for the work that they're doing behind the scenes, the battles that they're fighting, and whatever experience that we might be undergoing right now. It might also have been already, like, after it's been filtered by these angels. So what I mean by that is that maybe, you know, you're protected in some way by the angels and divine intervention, keeping you away from something, a place, a certain situation, and knowing ahead of time what could have happened, right? Because our angels know everything, God knows everything. And we also learned that, you know, these angels are messengers of God, so they know all the secrets of God, and they act accordingly, because they're the ones that are able to help us more directly in the earthly realm, right? So they are the helpers of God, right? Think of Santa and his little elves as well, right? It's exactly how angels are. So instead of, like, let's say, like, maybe complaining, maybe why we've been shut off like a certain place or a situation or maybe a person, knowing that our angels are protecting us and it was always divine protection, it's already been filtered, meaning that if it shows up again, or the door's open and then it's crystal clear, like the storm has passed, right? We're not going to know maybe what could have happened, because it's already been filtered away. It's already been taken care of by our angels. But in this moment of maybe being blinded and kept in the dark about what's really happening behind the scenes, we need to trust God and our angels, that they're taking care of it, that they know better, and that we can still enjoy our life doing other things that might be more appropriate for the moment and phase that we're in our lives. And then maybe whatever it is that we really wanted, maybe probably wasn't going to be good for us in that moment anyways, and we could have regretted it, right? Like, if we had it our way, basically, and our angels hadn't intervened prior, especially if you're really connected to angels and you pray for their help every day, then maybe you would have gotten it, but maybe then you would have realized you either didn't want it, or maybe something could have happened that maybe wasn't safe for your journey. Maybe it could have taken off your path, whatever the case may be, right? So why waste away negative emotion and energy towards the what ifs, or maybe crying about something that we don't have, or a situation that we would have wanted it to go our way, when maybe it was never meant to go in that particular order or timing that we expected. So this is a week where we definitely need to put our full faith in God, in our angels, what they're doing, and knowing that everything that's meant to show up will show up in divine timing. And I do feel like there are new doors showing up and opening up for us this year. Maybe new people coming in, or maybe something of the past that maybe didn't really unravel. You know, like this is like unfinished business, when maybe there has been something of the past or something that maybe showed up for you, but maybe it didn't develop into anything, right? And it just kind of like stopped there, as if it was just like a little teaser of maybe what's to come, but maybe it was just not the timing for it to completely unravel and develop. And then I do feel like this year we're gonna get kind of like back to those teasers, and then we're gonna get the whole story. We're gonna let the story unravel, and God is not wanting to maybe like I guess frustrate you, right? Because like if you're teased too much, it's almost like it can get not annoying but like frustrating, right? Because it's just like unnecessary. And God is not wanting to create pain or hurt in any of our lives. God is only wanting to protect us, right? So I do feel like there are things that might show up that technically might be of the past, because the past, remember, is yesterday, right? But it's not necessarily a past situation that was once developed and maybe didn't work out. That's a different situation. That's a different story, right? Because if something had already started and developed and didn't come and last till your present moment, or didn't develop into something genuine and pure and maybe solid, then that wasn't meant to be. But if there was any certain situation that maybe you just like maybe only saw like once, right, or a couple times in your life, and you didn't know anything because you didn't know what could have been, because nothing happened, right? So these are the kind of situations that I feel are going to be beginnings, and maybe new beginnings, because, you know, there also could be chances to meet, you know, completely new people, to get new ideas for projects. But I feel like we've already been doing some kind of solid foundational work, and this is for every area of our life, whether that be in the romance department, in our career, right? It's not like we're going to change completely career right now, for example, right? That would be ridiculous, because we've been already focusing too much on developing our skills, our talents, and we probably already know what we're good at, right? So it's not about starting completely something new. When I say that this year is about starting a new page, a new story to your book, a new story to your life book, or to your life, a new book to your life, it's about just starting a new phase, a new chapter, and like a new situation. It's not necessarily something that you don't know or not familiar with, right? Because if you're not familiar with it by now, then it's not meant to be in your life. That's a big message right now coming through. So this can mean, again, anything, right? This is where you spiritually and intuitively decode and decipher what this means particularly for your life. And this is, of course, where also booking a personal soul coaching session comes in. But this is a strong message that I'm getting this week, is that we are already familiar with what's to come in our future and what's going to be for the rest of our life. We're familiar with it, but we're not, so we're familiar with it, but we're not like completely consummated together, you want to say, right? So you're not completely yet in it. You're not at the peak of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or make happen, in whether that be love, career, personal goals, right? We're still working on climbing this mountain, on finding the right people, the right place, the right time. All of these things need to be in perfect order. It's like playing a chess game for your life. It's about strategy. It's about knowing when to go for it and knowing when to retreat, knowing when to play poker face as well, so that they don't get you at your own game, right? And they don't figure it out And then maybe whatever plans you had will derail because they figure out your secrets or what's really in your heart, right? So it's all about strategy at this point. And our angels always give us these strategy points. The more in spiritual alignment we are, that's why spiritual practice is so important. That's why, you know, prayer and meditation on a daily basis is so important, because that's how we get these divine messages, revelations. And we're getting all of this slowly at the timing that we need to know. Everything is unraveling, these revelations, as we are meant to know. So other guidance is, you know, make sure that you check out my School of Light as well, because there's so much knowledge there that is applicable to your day-to-day life. Everything that we read at the Spiritual Book Club, all the classes that I teach, definitely have a lot to do with the spiritual journey. It has all to do with the spiritual journey, but it has a lot to do with our day-to-day experiences, and then maybe lessons that we learn along the way. It's a very powerful message. So just continue to do what you're doing, basically. Do more research, continue to learn more, continue to master your craft, continue to develop and perfect your spiritual gifts, continue to just explore your creativity, your imagination, and then work on making your real dreams come true. And what this means is that our dreams are not yet here. We're living our dream, yes, but there's more to this dream that is still achievable. And that's what God is wanting to surprise us with. And that's a beautiful message. Let us get started with our daily affirmation. So we're much closer to our dream than we think, and we are living the dream, but there is, again, just more to the dream. That's just what I want to say. Alright, our daily affirmations for this week, a little bit of like a overview. Definitely this has a lot to do with love. So this is definitely spiritual love coming in this year, new spiritual love. Probably not a relationship that you've ever had yet, right? I only think positively about love. I believe in love. True love exists, and I attract it. That's definitely our mantra this week. I am graceful, and I do all things with mindfulness. I love my life so much. I choose to live in the present moment. So definitely this is in relation to our mission. Do all things with love. And I know what I want, and I go after it with passion, conviction, and holy strength. And this is, again, going after the person that you love, going after your mission with love, our self-care with love, and have self-control. I can resist temptations. I'm strong enough with anything that is not in your spiritual alignment. That's anything that is not of God. And this is, again, the story of Jesus in the book of Matthew, right? When he overcame temptations, he was able to do it as a human, so you can too. Because even though he was the Son of God, he still had human strength, human capabilities just like us, nothing supernatural, right? It was only after he ascended, right, in spirit. So he was a living example that if we can do it, if he can do it, then we can do it. Okay, now our angel messages for this week. These first two, we have Archangel Samuel again, helping us to find what we seek. Dear divine child, I know God's will for you. Nothing is lost in God's eyes, and therefore I shall find it for you, that which you seek, need, and desire in this life. Love, Archangel Samuel. And then Archangel Metatron, and they're both with the same blue clouds, because they're all different colored clouds, so I think that's very synchronistic. Maybe spend time looking at the sky and just looking up there. That's so meditative, and then you can really get in touch with spirit that way, with the Holy Spirit, with your spirit guides, with the angels. Dear Archangel Metatron, please watch over my children and guide me as to the best way to help them develop and maintain their spiritual gifts. Thank you for guiding and supporting my career as a healer, and then being a teacher who helps highly sensitive children. So maybe we're helping children as well who are very sensitive. Maybe you have children in your life. You're being guided to help and mentor them this week. Love, your divine child. I also have a School of Light for kids where I do teach children at like their own pace, their own language, about the spiritual journey. So if you have children in your life, you might want to have them get access to the School of Light for kids, purchase them a membership. I love to teach there, and I will be doing a lot of content this week as well for the School of Light for kids. I started during the holidays. I will be uploading that sometime this week as well. I'm a little behind on that, but a lot of great stuff there, so definitely don't miss out. And then also our spiritual guidance for this week, extra messages. Okay, you can be happy now. And again, you are safe and protected. So wherever you're at right now, you are safe and protected. Again, this is the part of the message that I started. If you find that maybe you're confined or restrained from something that you think that you want, know that it's for your protection and you're safer where you're at. And you can be happy where you're at. And then connect to your spirit guides. Maybe that's what you're meant to be doing right now. And that's okay, right? That's beautiful. That's more than okay. Because not everybody gets this opportunity in life. And I am beautiful, yes. Trust in your beauty, your divinity within that will radiate on the outside. The more spiritually in alignment we are, we're going to get more in touch with our divine feminine that is a goddess, that is a sacred woman. And this is going to be radiant to all the world. And the world needs more of this highly divine feminine energy that is wanting to help, heal, and just love more. Have an amazing and beautiful week. That's how we're going to end today's weekly spiritual guidance. Make sure that you also check out extra behind the scenes messages and my little extra counseling session on my Instagram page, all at Christie Ramirez _soul coaching. If you subscribe to my Instagram page for that little extra membership subscription, only $2.99 a month, you get access to all the counseling sessions on a weekly basis, plus extra live streams, extra chats as well, where you can ask me anything that you want about the spiritual journey, and I will answer you. And you can even ask me questions that you would ask me in a personal counseling session without paying for a counseling session. So definitely take a look at that, join, and I'll see you all next week. Namaste.